Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast here. Honcast Hon Tours Season 4 coverage. Continuing to come at you of Cycle number 1 Diamond Division. And today begins the bracket stages where we will find out by the end of this weekend which team eventually is going to take Cycle number 1 here of Hon Tours Season 4. So definitely an exciting day here. No doubt the beginning of what surely is going to be a great weekend of Heroes of New Earth ahead of us here. As you can see on your screen, these are the bracket stages. What that means, we are in the top 4 teams here of Cycle number 1 coming at us. These teams qualified for this point via, of course, the group stages, which took place really over the last week and a half or so here of Cycle 1. So definitely top 4 teams of what you see is Complexity versus Bad Monkey Gaming, the matchup that we're kicking it off with, a best-of-3 series that's there in the losers bracket from the beginning because they were the number 3 and 4 teams from the group stages. The number 1 and 2 teams, Not Sync versus Reason Gaming, will be playing in the later match today from the winner bracket finals right there. So here we are, though, in our matchup to get it kicked off and already pretty far into the draft, so we'll get to that in just a second here. But joining me today as a co-caster, actually a new co-caster here for today, going to be joined by Squirry here of Revolution. How's it going, man?
Hey, yeah, it's going pretty good. Pretty excited to be here, and yeah, I'm hoping for really good matches here.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have some good matches here. These two teams definitely have experience against one another, to say the least, and definitely just sound teams on the competitive scene. So, yeah, this whole weekend should be filled with great matches. Complexity, worth pointing out, too, once again, reiterating even, they are playing with a new 5th for the time being. Baba Ganoush announcing no longer going to be playing for the time. It's just not working out with the schedule and everything. Love here has stepped in. He played with them in the later part of the group stages. Actually did pretty well for them, honestly. So looking forward to seeing how he performs as well today as their support player. But screw it here, we got already the draft just about finishing up. So let's just start talking about what we're seeing here from the teams. Bad Monkey Gaming, they got their full 5. Moira, Torturer, Dark Lady, Pharaoh, and Magnus is what they end up with. So what is your take on the Legion draft over here?
I think Legion has some solid picks, but I do prefer the Hellborn draft here because they do kind of address all the Legion heroes. So, yeah, but I do like the TDL here a lot.
Okay.
Especially he's strong against Parasite and Swiftblade. So, yeah, overall a pretty good draft by Fusen, as expected.
That's what you usually expect. Yeah, it really does seem like a comfortable draft. Nothing, they didn't really go outside of the box by any means. I'm not expecting a whole lot of that, though, here in these bracket stages. These teams aren't Revolution here.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Not picking crazy Myrmidons and weird picks, Brambles all over the place. So, no, but keeping it simple, I think it's safe to say. But yeah, so you're leaning towards Complexity's draft a little more, huh? With what they got here.
Yeah, they're just from the start on. They've been interesting. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not so sure anymore.
Okay. Well, there's they do go a little bit different in the end with that Bushwhack pick. Gonna end up in the hands of Formless, I'm sure, as their carry. All right. Well, what do you think about Bushwhack as a hero?
I think it's pretty great, and it does work quite well against the Pharaoh. And especially with the Andro, it's going to help a lot. But I think once the TDL is on, like, right on top of Bushwhack, and they lock down the Andros in some way, it's going to be a hard way escaping from that.
A tough time. So, but having that sidestep ability, of course, will ideally keep him out of those situations, but it's a lot easier said than done when it comes down to it. You're pointing out he is good against Pharaoh, so yeah, I guess his sidestep does work through the mummy walls then? He is able to get out of it? Okay.
Yes, but he will be pushed back nonetheless after he jumped down.
No, that's a good point, yeah. We'll take that mana burn and a little bit of damage there, but being able to get out of the mummy wall, though, pretty good strat there. But I will say we did see Imba Boy play Bushwhack here pretty recently in the group stages, and do crazy with it. I mean, he ended up getting an insane stat line. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it was pretty damn good, to say the least. So I wonder if maybe Complexity saw that and is kind of reacting to that a little bit. Like, well, it worked for him. Let's try it ourselves now here with the Bushwhack. Because, I mean, there has to be a reason why. What do you think the reason was they went Bushwhack? And that's not a hero you just randomly pick up.
I do think it has a lot to do with the Moira and the Pharaoh, especially. Because it's really good to just get away from the Moira queue and really the mummies. And yeah, I was actually surprised that we haven't seen Bushwhack too much after the Hunter finals of last season. Because if I remember correctly, it was picked in the, I think, very least game, actually.
It might have been. Yeah, no, Southeast Asia definitely has a lot of history playing the hero, at least from what we've been told. I will say, though, we've talked about that, but then when we see the competition for Southeast Asia, he's not necessarily picked up a lot. I mean, there have been times where we have seen him in the competition over there, sure, but not a lot. Not like where it's being made out to be. So, yeah, he kind of seems like a hero that gets some attention, but maybe not seen as much as he's talked about. So, yeah, no, excited to see how he performs here, to say the least. As it is just a different style of carry hero, no doubt, getting in the hands of Formless here. But the lane's coming out now and getting an idea of what's being ran where. Is there anything that's standing out to you, or are these almost as you would expect here? As I got to say, Boxy on Torture Middle is the first thing that is standing out to me here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't see that coming either, even though the draft is pretty much what BMG goes all the time. I mean, with the pulling Magnus. And yeah, I guess it's the last solution they had was sending the Torturer Middle.
Why do you think they valued having the Torturer Middle over the Magnus? I mean, they could have easily just had a secondary support Torturer and a Magnus Middle.
I think Magnus is way easier. I mean, Torturer has a way easier time dealing with the Swift Blade. And yeah, I'm guessing they expected Murxis to be suicide against the Moira. So that's why they probably sent Torturer mid, and he's just generally really good with the impalement against hero like Swiftblade. It's just, I mean, he can block magic damage, but does literally nothing against physical damage.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point there with the impalement. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hope he goes that road.
Okay.
And yeah, just Magnus definitely way easier on setting up ganks on other lanes than a Torture can.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is definitely a somewhat classic BMG, too, where, yeah, when we first started seeing this tier, this is what they're definitely known for doing here, that secondary support jungle pull, especially with a hero like a Magnus, as we see here. So, Root of Z in the role of the Magnus, and I still kind of find myself saying this, when we cast BMGs, but out of the way, top lane. Pharaoh might be in trouble right here. Crippling Dart in 4 more seconds. I don't think it's going to be in time, though. Common Stun is coming up, though. There we go. And that should... Oh, he's just behind the tree. Bushwhack could not get the sight for the Crippling Dart. And Pharaoh will survive. Excellent use of the tree right there from Make coming out. And he manages to stay alive here. We'll have to pop some regen, though. But that was a great use of the vision there.
Yeah, it was a great getaway, definitely.
What was I going to talk about, though? Oh, yeah, talking about the secondary support. But, yeah, Root of Z playing it, though, playing the Magnus here. Again, we had Fusid on before the season started, and he was pretty adamant that he was going to be more the secondary support. Root of Z was going to instead be the main support, and they were going to be switching that up and seeing how it works out. And yet, we haven't seen that here in Cycle 1 from them. So it's almost like they thought about making the change, but then didn't. Oh, middle lane bloodlust kill, by the way. As Boxy takes out Fuzzy Sloth, he does fall in return, but he ends up diving him at the tower. That's an impalement coming into play, as you're talking about there.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of surprised he put 2 points into Q, but yeah, I mean, he still made it work. He still got the counter kill. Or he got the initial kill, actually.
He did, yeah. Got the kill first, so that's the good news right there. But we'll port back to the middle lane, as does Swiftblade. Neither one with a bottle just yet here, so... We'll see when that gets
Torture
delivered.
did get the boots, though.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Going boots instead of the bottle first here.
I think it's a very smart move, just to secure that Swiftblade can't spin him down. It's a very smart move, and we can see the harassment he can put with that right now as well.
You know, part of me, I know dying isn't what you want to have happen, obviously. I'm not saying it's great that it happened, but it's not the worst thing because it did allow him to get full life and full mana after he got the bloodlust right there and put it right back in with the boot. So maybe that's where it's, you know, wasn't the biggest deal in the world that he died in the middle lane. But, oh, my God, actually middle lane. There's definitely going to be something here.
Yeah, he's been waiting there for quite some time.
Yeah. He is setting up, just waiting. I wonder what he's waiting for. I mean, okay, Parasite is coming over. There we go. There's the stop, but there is reaction nearby. Mummy 1 needs to be careful not to trap his teammate. He does a good job of that. Swiftblade's caught. Torture is going to survive, and now Swiftblade's in trouble. Pharaoh will fall in the response, but it's a 1-for-1 in favor of the Legion side. Magnus, he's going deep. Needs to be careful with this. No, he takes over the Hell Cannon, and now Magnus in a lot of trouble. I don't know if he's getting out of this. Nope, the axe does hit. Nice snipe from Oscar there. And down goes Magnus. So, yeah, Magnus, that was a very greedy play. Good getaway from Parasite.
Yeah, nice jump into the catapult in the last second.
Manages to escape right there, so well played indeed. But while this action's going on, so, you know, it's good to be an active suicide, but I will say Dark Lady, seems like Baltazar is having a pretty good time at the bottom lane, but I guess that's not too surprising, right?
No, but yeah, he's doing a really good job on pressuring it already. It's below half HP. So yeah, definitely forcing Oscar to come back to the bottom lane. Not letting the tower fall before in like 6 minutes.
Yeah. Isn't really a lot he can do, though, on Moraxis. I mean, he can only do so much here in this, what's that? The Dark Lady and the Moira. It is good against a Moira, to be fair. But yeah, and I know you guys actually like to run kind of the Suicide Moraxis a little bit, too. Why do you think Suicide Moraxis is actually pretty good?
It's kind of hard to kill him. I mean, you can't really kill him with 2 people, so you need to bring at least 3 people, which BMG could do here. But besides that, I mean, yeah, obviously he's really strong against the Moira, but also has the harassment with the buffed E, with the access, and that's, you can't really underestimate that. I mean, it's a TDL with 700 HP,
yeah,
and those hit quite hard. So yeah, this is also why we see TDL being a big further bet now.
Yeah, she is playing a little safe. You're right. I mean, it's a solo Moraxis right here. It's kind of keeping her out of the lane. Now, I will say it feels like they are trying to set up a kill, though. Magnus has been hiding here for a little bit, off to the side. So, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, Dark Lady seems like she's a little too far back, to be honest. So, not too sure what the plan is there, but that makes more sense. Getting disconnected, apparently. So, Pharaoh, both suicides trying to be pretty active here early on. Pharaoh, you see him in the middle lane now, trying to set up a kill on a Swiftblade here. Not level 6, though, so won't be able to hook in, but we'll see if he can get a jump out of this. But this does mean Bushwhack is also having a pretty good time at the top lane. Well, which of these carries would you be more worried about in a game, you know, getting kind of free farm like this in the beginning?
Definitely the TDL. I mean, Bushwhack is a strong carry, but he needs so much to actually get into the game properly and have use in those team fights, really. And TDL just doesn't need much. I mean, she needs a cleaver, and then from that point on, if you can't address her, then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely something that we see a bit. We see a bit from her. But it seems like Bushwhack, though, at the same time, he could probably be a little more involved than, like, a Dark Lady can. Earlier on in the game, right?
To an extent, yeah. So I think if you manage to get early levels with TDL and manage to skill the Cover of Darkness early on, then you're going to be way more useful in fights because the ulti is so strong, such a strong ability. Especially with the team fight potential the Legion has, it's definitely a good combination there. Yeah.
One of those, again, as a spectator, it's hard to appreciate what a Cover of Darkness really is doing in those team fights. And I know it's arguably one of the most annoying abilities to go up against here. By the way, guys, I know people are excited too. We kicked it off on Thursday. We are beginning to leak some upcoming balance changes here. on these Honcast casts. And yes, once again today, that'll continue. We're planning to do it in between the series, so before people start constantly asking when that's going to happen, we're planning to do it in between the series. So after the BMG Complexity series and before, of course, the Not Sync versus Reason series. So we'll see when that is. These are best of threes coming at us. But we will be joined by Waz, or at least that's the plan here. And a couple more are going to be coming at us. So definitely, including one that you might have already heard a little bit about. I'm excited to get a little more in depth into that, though. Excited for that. We did something special for me this game. I don't know what he's talking about. What would he be talking about here? I mean, Bushwhack pick is fun, but I don't know. That's really... What?
I don't see a berserker.
Yeah, well, what's going on here? Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out before they just flat out tell me. I can't, I don't know. What the hell? I'm confused. I am lost. We'll see if they even tell me. I have to notice it.
Maybe they tried to block cover. I don't know.
Oh, the ward. What? No, that would be weird. That is kind of a weird word placement, to be fair, but doubt that's it. God, what am I missing here? These sons of bitches. Tell me the answer. I have no clue. I'm so lost. Yeah, by the way, congrats to you guys. Good old Revolution. You're staying in Diamond for cycle number 2. So.
Yeah, thanks. Was a tough road.
Yeah.
Definitely glad to stay there, though.
Yeah, more games to be played now, going into cycle 2, and more experience to be had. So that's an exciting future ahead for you guys. Have you noticed maybe a little bit of have you got like messages from fans or anything like that, or you guys have been getting casted a bit lately, and I know it has a fun team. So have you been recognizing the support at all, or? Whoa.
I'm sorry, my mic died for a second.
Yeah, it did. That was fun. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean.
Uh-oh. Mic die again?
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
Is it like a wireless headset or something?
Yeah, it is. I don't. I'm gonna try to fix it here in a sec.
Right, well.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of people just writing to us that it's kind of fun to watch us on Honcast.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's obviously nice to hear, and we're having a lot of fun as well. So that's what it's all about in the end, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, glad you guys. You know, I'm not a biased caster by any means, but knowing that you guys are going to be back in cycle number 2 is definitely a pretty cool feeling. So I'm excited for that. Excited to see how you guys do once again. Of course, you beat Russian Dargons, right? Yeah, you played on Tuesday. That's right. So,
yeah.
Sauna Esports also going to be joining you guys back once again. They took out Mystery Gang on Thursday. Did that surprise you a little bit, or?
To be honest, without being rude or anything, yeah, it surprised me so much.
Yeah.
Because Miss had such a decent gold cycle in total, and yeah, it was just really insane. Like, I didn't expect Sana to keep up with that at all.
Mm-hmm. No, that's why I asked you, because honestly, I feel the same way. Mystery Gang, they've been a team that's very hyped, and for good reason. Again, their onslaught success is middle lane, by the way. Swiftblade coming out of this pause right here. Caught in the mummy walls. He tries to spin away, and he's going to get the kill on Pharaoh. He does die in the end, but, I mean, they gave him a kill right before it, so takes away a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, the creep's negating a lot of the impalement damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an unfortunate timing.
Yeah, it's the right idea, but unfortunately backfiring a little bit for Maki right there. But
yeah, definitely.
Getting the kill at least. But yeah, it seems like Boxy here on Torture is having a pretty good time now. Again, this is a middle farming Torture here, in the hands of Boxy especially. He is pretty notorious for going like a sacrificial stone in cases like this. You know, his Puppet Master. He actually likes to go a sacrificial stone tablet of command, actually. Is that something you expect to see here on Torture, or maybe something different?
No, definitely. I think it's a really core item on Torture, and especially on middle lane. So yeah, I hope he's getting that.
Okay. The tablet, are you talking about, or?
The Sexton, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Tablet, yeah. Yes, he's dying right now.
Yes, he is. That spin going to be too much in the end. Parasite's assistance is the big factor right there. So good job with the Skeleton King coming in and catching him a little too far up. But okay, so you like the sacrificial stone here, though.
Yeah, I do like the tablet as well, especially against a hero like Swiftblade. I don't know how much it does against Bushwhack, but yeah, I would definitely like to see that.
All right, we'll see. We'll see that coming into play. But yeah, the Sackstone, you know, you got Swiftblade, who sure the spin is magic, but you know, eventually will become a much more physical threat. Of course, you got then the obvious Bushwhack, who is well all physical, right? I'm looking at just to double check. Yeah, he's all physical here, so that Sackstone could prove to do quite a bit of work here for Torture eventually getting it. Speaking of Bushwhack, actually, again, kind of a different hero. You're a carry player yourself, Squeary. If you were Bushwhack here, what would you think makes sense to go for?
Well, seeing that the Hellborn team has stacked a lot already, and Morexus took care of the Ancients as well, yeah, it's exactly what I would go for as well. The Thunderclaw, the early one.
Yeah.
And then just clean out the woods entirely. Let like the Morexus form his PK top lane. I think that's the smart idea.
Alright, well, yeah, he has the ability to clean up stacks pretty well, you would think, not only with a Thunderclaw pickup, but that Splinter Shot. Pretty powerful tool for AoE clearing. Has only level 1 right now, but that'll add up. The Splinter Shot effects, they don't... does that actually apply the dot to everything it hits with the Splinter Shot, or is it just the first target?
Yes. No, it does apply to everything it hits, yeah.
Oh my god. That's really strong. I didn't know it was actually that strong. I kind of just thought about that. I don't know why I've never thought about that before. I mean, again, not a hero we see often. But wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much why the hero is so good at flash farming, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the E doesn't necessarily deal too much damage. I think it's, if I'm not completely wrong, it's like 40% at max level.
60%. 60%.
60? Alright, yeah. So yeah, I think without the ulti being applied to that, it wouldn't, yeah, be too good of a spell actually.
Yeah. Nice. Nice, yeah. So that Jungle Toxin, it's, again, I've always kind of been an advocate that it's a very underwhelming ability on paper. It's like, okay, it's a passive first off, and it's a dot damage on top of that, so it's like, okay, really? But it is pretty powerful. I mean, do not underestimate the potential of it for sure. Especially once he gets pretty good farm, his attack speed goes through the roof. And bottom lane, by the way, Dark Lady. Now, she saw this coming. So she is going to Charging Strikes away, and she will be fine. I was going to say, if she ends up dying from this, that's definitely to her fault. But I'll start feeling that he could tank it, and he was right with the intro on more access.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to go back either with the life tube. Yeah. So yeah, but if the Hellborn team would have gotten that kill, that would have been very huge for them.
Oh.
Yes, more access.
More access trying to run right here. More catches with the Arcane, or the Shards of Harkon, excuse me, initially, and they set up the kill as a result, so all 4 players collapsing for it. We do see a port in from both Bushwhack and Parasite, but they get their way late, so a lot of TPs used also just to, well, get nothing out of it in the end. So definitely a pretty good victory there for BMG.
Yeah, that was a very questionable shield by Oscar. He used it so early when Fusen didn't even use his Shards of Harkon. So, yeah, a bit greedy or misplayed in his ports. I think he could have lived there, definitely.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's kind of
why use of the ports.
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons, yeah, you definitely pick up and more access, right? Is because of that more matchup with that Arcane Shield, so... Definitely missing out on an opportunity there to perhaps set up a turn. But Bushwhack, by the way, clearing out triple stack Ancients in the meantime. So it really wasn't the worst thing ever, the fact that he ported it. Happened to be right next to the Ancients, so benefits from that. Now we see.
Yeah, I really like their movement. It's exactly what I said. The Morexus is top lane now, trying to get his peak, and he's getting kind of close to it already. And yeah, mid lane constantly pushed out by Swiftblade. So yeah, Complicity doing a really good job now on maximizing the farm.
Yeah, they got a decent lead, don't they? 2,200 gold lead, 3,000 experience lead here. That's about 12 minutes into the game, so nothing overwhelming, but definitely a lead nonetheless here for the Hellborn team. As they're going to have to defend this bottom tower. Maybe not. They'll probably let it go, actually. Yeah, Parasite runs away. Not worth it. And that's a free tower kill.
Yeah.
So Rune Cleaver is getting close for Dark Lady here. Good to see for the Legion side.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference between the Thunderclaw and the Rune Cleaver. If you manage to outfarm the enemy carry with the Thunderclaw early on, then you definitely are in a good position because you get it so much earlier than the Cleaver. But yeah, once TDL picks up a Cleaver, her GPM is just going to skyrocket.
Yeah. We have seen that plenty of times. And Complexity has as well. Okay, only one broadsword so far. I thought both were being delivered, but no, he only has the one broadsword, so he still needs the second one before he has the Rune Cleaver. So doesn't have it just yet, but he is kind of keeping up, isn't he? He's at 385 gold per minute, where Bushwhack's only at 420. So, I mean, it's a lead for Bushwhack, but as you're kind of getting at there, he's had the Thunderclaw now for a little bit. It's not like a huge lead. So so it sounds like that you're a little worried for the Hellborn team that Dark Lady's going to start really taking off here soon.
Yeah, definitely. Especially looking at the Swiftblade, it doesn't really have too much either, sitting on 320 GPM. And TL generally just a good hero to deal with this hero like Swiftblade. So yeah, I feel like they're in kind of a bad spot right now as Complexity.
Well, they do have the lead, but yeah, can't let that fool you too much. It's still early on once again. So you mentioned the Energizer pickup on Swiftblade. Do you like that decision here, Ghost Marchers and the Energizer to go first?
I'm usually not the biggest fan of them, but seeing that Bushwhack skipped in because he wanted to flash farm, I think it's the right choice to make. I mean, one Energizer in the team is always a strong pickup.
Yeah. It's a solid decision here for sure. Parasite Puzzle Box. I want to say it's level 1, but as usual, the Parasite can't check right now. As he's currently in. Yeah, they are level 1. Okay, the minions are out, so click on them. So yeah, level 1 Puzzle Box from what you got right here. He's actually in the Wild Hunter. He's seeing if he gets an opportunity. More access nearby with a portal key. They may get Pharaoh here. Well, he does have backup at the same time from Magnus, who also has his portal key. How about that? Magnus managed to get it here.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Quite early on for a jungle Magnus.
Not much else. Not much else. Only has Striders and a mana battery, and I guess he can got the minor totem there, but not a whole lot here. As there we go. There's the jump. Magnus. Oh, I thought he was going to maybe go for the eruption counter, but he chooses to just get on out of there quickly. That's a dead
Yeah,
player.
that was a nice pick-off. Though I would really like to see them capitalize the PK and the fact that they have a Parasite on killing the TDL. I mean, get the smoke and just go bottom. I mean, TDL is forming close to the lane all the time.
Yeah, no vision down there currently, other than at the secondary tower, really. That's an interesting word of side place from Fusion. Very early on, it's a very aggressive one at that, but denying the middle tower, by the way. It's a good job from the Hellborn side. Taking away resources there, but Dark Lady, the Rune Cleaver is on the way. I'm looking at the camps now. There's one stack there, but other than that, there's only the one stack. They do have a triple stack Ancients. We'll see if they...
Which is going to be blocked afterwards.
Oh, yeah. There's a ward there. And actually...
So I wonder...
Torturer's taking it. Okay. They're going to spread it here. You don't like that, it sounds like.
No. I mean, sure, it's nice to split it up a bit, since TDL has the entire woods. But it's still gonna be down to the TDL against the Bushwhack in the end. Or it feels like it's gonna be that matchup. And if I was BMG, I would probably put as much prioritize, or I would prioritize the TDL over the Torture right now. Who, by the way, got the tablet now.
Yeah, he just, I think he got want to say he purchased something else, but maybe not actually. What the hell did he spend? He had that when he farmed the Ancients, right? Okay, there we go. There's the shield of the 5. So he is going to be getting that Sackstone to follow it up. He just went to the tablet first instead. So I'll keep an eye for getting that here as he's trying to set up a gang at the bottom lane with that Veiled Rot you're talking about. Well, I guess more so on the Hellborn side, but Legion team trying to use it unsuccessfully though. Torture is just going to eventually wear off right there. Trying to sneak around, but...
Yeah, I think that is going to be tier 2 bottom tower of the Hellborn going down. If they don't respond to that. While Parasite got top tower here.
That he did. That Ballista, man, that's got to be a pretty... That's always a frustrating thing, right? Where Parasite in that Ballista, it's like, what can we do? I guess that's why you get
definitely.
Speaking of that, do you think the Legion team should be getting an Outbones here, and if so, who?
I don't think there's any way that any of those heroes are going to get one. Maybe the Moira, but even on Moira, I would prefer the PK.
Yeah.
As it doesn't look like she's going to even have that anytime soon.
Yeah, not a whole lot of farm coming around for Fusen here. He hasn't died yet, to be fair, but only 120 gold per minute is a main support after all.
Yeah.
Rune Cleaver, it's been finished on Baltzar for a little bit. He has the Abyssal Skull now, so pretty routine follow-up here. He's taken over, as you kind of expected here, as the top farmer in the game. And I don't know, do you feel like Complexity, they haven't really addressed it, and is that their fault, or have they really not been able to, or what do you think?
Well, by the looks of it, the Bushwhack is going for the BKB now. So it does seem like they want to force something soonish, but it's too late, honestly. Yeah. I mean, they should have done something with the Moraxis PK.
Speaking of Moraxis,
yeah.
Well, just got jumped there by a portal key in the hands of Magnus, actually. So, yeah, the Moraxis with that portal key, you're right. I mean, they did gank throughout the bottom lane. That's the only thing they did with it, though. And that was 4 heroes kind of collapsing onto him. So, it wasn't even really the greatest value, necessarily, to get that kill. So, yeah, the activity hasn't really taken off as maybe Complexity was hoping for here with their early farm.
Yeah, I mean, they have some kills, and they're still in the gold and experience lead, but they just haven't done anything about the TDM, and that's, yeah, kind of worrying me.
Well, we'll see how they kind of address things in the near future. You mentioned the Shrunken Head is coming for Bushwhack. You would think that that's, again, it is the I'm ready to kind of take fight now item. So, I wonder if that's going to be a cue for Complexity here to address that. I don't know. Does Complexity possibly feel? I mean, it is Complexity first off. I mean, again, notoriously a team known for going late game. They're fine. You do see right there, but that game will take 25 minutes. Okay. Bushwhack for Starker. That's kind of what I was actually about to get at, though. Was hello.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. The Bushwhack. Do they feel like they maybe are stronger late game? Could you see that being a case, or is Dark Lady always just too scary to be fine taken to the late game?
I think it depends on the point, on the items, and especially on the GPM. Just who finishes the big items first. Because right now it looks like TL is he must have bought something. I wouldn't want. I think it's gonna be the. No, Firebrand, actually.
Yep.
Okay, well, yeah, it doesn't look like TDL is willing to take fights yet. So, yeah, I definitely think TDL, if this keeps on going like this, TDL has the edge.
Okay. Yeah, especially if she's going somewhat of a greedy build, definitely, with that Firebrand you just mentioned. She could have easily gone for, like, the Mighty Blade here into a Shrunken Head instead, but wants to get something that'll help her damage a little bit more, and just a solid item in general for an agility carry, of course, is that Firebrand. What it does for you, the armor, the move speed increase, beneficial attributes of it. Top lane, Moraxis, he's waiting to see if they jump this Parasite in the Ballista, but No one's falling for it. Pharaoh's the only one nearby, and he's not interested. Nothing he can do, obviously, really against it. So he kind of just has to accept the fact that he's pushing right here. Now we'll see if any TPs start coming in, because Pharaoh's still kind of chilling around. Oh, in fact, now he's the one that he just simply comes out to throw a nuke. Oh, but Miraxus missed the combo, and Pharaoh's gonna get away. The puzzle box minions get boxed out. So I mean, they'll be fine in the end themselves, but yeah, they missed out on a kill chance there on a Pharaoh.
Yeah, and that was pretty close. But I think if Pharaoh would have gotten the mummies off, like if he would have blocked both into the mummies, that would have been, yeah, 2 people dead from the Hellborn. So the right decision to just fall back right away after the missed stun.
Boxy right there, that was fun. He chain reaction swift played as he was running to a haster and bottom, and then he tabbed it over the cliff right there to pick it up right in front of him and run away. Now, you know, I want to say swift played, obviously, too, that he could have spun before he got stunned. I don't think he had vision. As top lane, Parasite, he goes down to the Dark Lady. How about that? Dark Lady charging him all the way down. I guess managed to get him out of the creep somehow and able to kill him in the end as they TP him, but just too late. That's not something you want to be doing if you're Complexity, giving up hero kills to Dark Lady.
No, definitely not. And that actually shows the power of the Firebrand. Because, yeah, TDL is very strong when she has that movement speed and just can, you know, slow it or run you down. And, yeah, managing to get an important kill here, and which is probably going to result in the tier 1 top tower.
Yeah, you got the support nearby to be there as if they try to defend. So Bushwhack, in fact, does need to be careful as that shrunken, but you can see they are roaming through the Veil to Rot gank attempt coming out. Pharaoh, he is going to go in, actually. Mummy Wall is put up around Swift Play. Not much he's going to be able to do. Chain reaction stun. The Torment's up. Arcane Vortex in the background, stopping some support from coming in. As down goes Miraxus. Swift Play is still alive, barely in the back when he gets swapped out. The Illusion going to be killed off, and now Torture will be turned on before Dark Lady could get there. She even had her cover of darkness, which she was unable to use. So big turn for Complexity. No buybacks, other just simply living. And actually, Dark Lady, sure, the Harka, look at that. She dives in, goes for the kill to Bushwhack, but their team supports there. Bushwhack side steps away, and now Dark Lady is in trouble. Cover of Darkness does go out. You can tell it is causing issues, as usual, but the Mauler chases on from the puzzle box of Parasite. He does have mana. He's going to come out. The leech applied. Here comes Andromeda with her. One more auto attack. Not enough. He wants the kill, but the block from Moira. And now Parasite's in trouble. Parasite takes the stun from Magnus there, and I think Parasite may end up falling right here unless he's able to take something over there. Great hero blocking, though. Beautiful right there. He can't take over Ancients, of course. Man, he is tanky, though. They're taking a while to kill him, and in fact, Swiftplay comes back in. Are you freaking kidding me? He's going to live. No, finally goes down, but there's the kill onto Magnus from Pharaoh, but now Torture is back as well, and the chain reaction's coming out. Swiftplay in trouble. He goes down. Miraxus comes back in. Balls to the wall, baby. Pharaoh will fall. He wants more as well. This fight is just non-stop right here. Miraxus dies in the end before he gets another. Wow, that fight, I mean, it lasted for at least a minute right there, if not longer. It was just non-stop.
Yeah, that was an insane fight right there. And definitely favors the Legion team, as they come out ahead with a 600 GPM TDL.
Yep. That's never a good thing. So, did she die early on in the fight? No, then, yeah, she stayed alive, didn't she? For that whole thing, too, so.
Yeah, she lived because of the hero blocking of Fusen, yeah.
Yeah, that was one auto attack away from dying right there. So beautiful escape coming out. Yeah, that's definitely a good reason as to why them coming out on top of that fight there, most certainly. I mean, that was a very late dive as well. Ended up paying off in the end for Dark Lady, so. Yeah, I guess take away that. You also take away Torture again. He's, especially a farming Torturer, definitely don't underestimate that either. Not something we see often, but he can put out some pretty good damage himself here if you're not careful.
Yeah, he's already level 15. With level 16, he's going to do so much damage once they don't have a BKB or spin up.
What do you think Torture should get next year with that set? Is something like the Shrunken maybe to help tank him up here in these fights, or what?
I think it should be a PK or a Sheepstick. Either of those would be a great item pickup.
Alright.
just to jump the Bushwhack before he can pop his BKB. And yeah, they just generally have a lot of jump potential, and they should definitely capitalize on that.
He's using that Veiled Rot once again, trying to find somebody, but as we see on the Hellborn map, not really going to find anybody unless you find more access up top here. Oh my god, they're actually going to be jumped first by Parasite. Here comes more access as well, jumping in with that Matrix Bushwhack and a drop in a following suit. Oh, Dark Lady going deep right here in the background, going toe-to-toe with that Bushwhack, but here comes Pharaoh. Bushwhack trying to run, will survive though as he gets out of the mummy walls. The Swift Slash is cutting through, not enough for the kill though, and Dark Lady, she gets kited right there. The Pharaoh nuke unable to finish Bushwhack, who gets down to below 10 life right there, and now Pharaoh going to be spun down. Dang, what another crazy fight. But this time, Complexity coming out on top of it. They went aggressive there on the jump.
Yeah, it's the second fight now they take without being 5 people on the Legion side. First, in the first fight, it was the TDL not being here, and now it was the Pharaoh. And yeah, they just don't have the damage to burst on a Parasite, for example, when they're not 5 people. Yeah. And Bushwhack getting away with the sidestep ability was really crazy, and then finishing off the TDL. So yeah, really bad play by Complexity.
Yeah, she had under 10 life. Bushwhack, that is. I guess it is a she, right? Yeah, this one's she. Anyways, had under 10 life. That's got to be frustrating if you're a BMG, but you have to finish it off, of course. So you're right, though. Pharaoh not being there from the beginning, perhaps causing the biggest issue. And now Kongor. It's going to be attempted, and I think it's safe to say definitely going to be killed. By the time the Legion team is really even aware it's going on, it's already killed, basically. So that's now a token on Bushwhack, of course, as it purchased. The Geometer's Bane pickup, he had that in that last fight, but worth pointing out here once again. Things are now a little scary for BMG. I mean, you got a Dark Lady that's 560 gold per minute, but I don't know. It feels like that actually now Complexity is in a decent spot here. With the token especially.
Yeah, definitely. I think Complexity, if they secure it right now, they have the game. They just need to execute it and push out the outer towers, pressure the TDL so she doesn't have the whole map to farm. And yeah, definitely a nice comeback. Or I don't know if you can call it comeback, since they were in the lead all the time, but making use of what they got right now.
Yeah. You see Magnus, he's being sneaky now. Swiftblade kind of expected. I mean, they expect something's up. You can tell he's kind of poking in here. Almost as if somebody's here and he knows it. But, oh, my God, he's not going to see it. The eruption coming out. Covered darkness and the back. And a big jump here from Bad Monkey Gaming. And just like that, 2 dead off the bat. It's going to be a third of Bushwhack. Goes down. He has a token. Going to come back up. Torture in the meantime dealing with Parasite in the background. He goes down. Bushwhack's like, I'm going to TP out right away. And no, he decides to cancel it and hold his ground. But now he might be in some trouble. He did get the kill on a Pharaoh. But you do see Parasite also picked off in the background. Bushwhack and Moraxis on the run. Magnus, can he maybe land a stun right here to try to follow up? You can tell he's a little timid to even try for it. He is charging in, though. There's a portakey for Moraxis. Oh, they're going to get Bushwhack if he wants it. Yep, he's going to go in for the stun. Maybe a little too far, though, as it will be. So, very back and forth once again. They get the token to be used. That was a hell of a jump from Bad Monkey Gaming. Right there.
Yeah, it was perfect execution of their lineup. And, yeah, definitely a bit unlucky on the Hellborn side. Andromeda only finding the Torture with the Aurora. But, yeah, I mean, this is just really nice game, seeing all those small little wins by both sides.
Yeah. This is, I mean, are you maybe gaining a little more respect for this Bushwhack too? Like the fact that they're still in the lead here, and Bushwhack showing that if he's able to kind of sit back, and he does have that kite factor with the sidestep, that he's going to be an issue into the late game here, right?
Definitely going to be an issue, yeah. But I think it's the same thing that happened that I mentioned with the TDL. They should have addressed the TDL way earlier, and at this time for the top is going to fight.
Yeah, there's a big fight up here taking place. In fact, Pharaoh's going to be turned on completely. Look at that, by the way. Parasite stole the barbed armor from Pharaoh right there, and that really gave him no chance. You do see Torture is also going to be found, and it will be a 2-for-0 exchange in their favor. At least Dark Lady does stay alive, but That was Bad Monkey Gaming jumping complexity only to get turned. I mean, that was a very deep dive. But yet again, going without full numbers there. You've pointed that out several times now, Screwy, that BMG, they need to be a little careful now when they choose to jump here with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, they keep doing it and it keeps backfiring. And we saw it bottom lane when once they're 5, they even win a fight against the token. But they decide to jump with 3 people and it backfires massively.
Certainly does. Frostburn is finished on Baltasar. He's trying to just progress even further, of course, and get deadlier, but at the same time, Bushwhack is doing the very, well, same thing, really, as far as just a different item, though. He picks up the Dancing Blade, which I think it's safe to say is going to be that Wing Bow. Is this an item that you like to see on Bushwhack here?
Definitely the perfect item to deal with TDL. And yeah, I honestly think that the Hellborn team has a really nice chance now. I'm guessing they're just waiting for the Conger now, which should be around the time he picks up the Wing Bow as well, and then they can easily take all the outer towers.
Also, Swiftblade's something we have to keep in mind as well. The Frostburn, the 2,300 more gold saved up. He went for a very, he's a very combat-heavy build here. He's almost like, he's actually playing a true kind of backup carry, you could say. And I'm getting at it because we seems like we see kind of 2 different kind of Swiftblade styles. We either see this style as more of the semi-carry, kind of the backup carry here, or we see more of the initiator, the portal key into even the brutalizer. You don't even need a portal key, to be honest. More just like a brutalizer to help with lockdown, especially, and just added burst damage. Would you like to see that instead, or are you fine with him going this decision of the Frostburn, Abyssal Skull, and whatnot?
No, I definitely like his build. The way this game has been going is just that the Hellborn team relies too much on the Bushwhack dealing with TDL. And now the Legion team really has to care about 2 carries. And yeah, I mean, he's done a fantastic job on recovering, sitting on 400 GPM. It's not always easy to pull off as a Switchblade.
No, Fuzzy Sloth has definitely managed very well indeed, and you do see that GPM chart. Bushwhack 560 gold per minute, but Dark Liddy is at the top at 600 GPM. Is usually, and in this case, definitely a solid sign for BMG, but as the big picture tells us, this is definitely not a over-the-top Dark Liddy farm game in terms of looking really good, because, well, they're down 10,000 gold and 11,000 experience, so I guess kind of the answer to going up against a hard carry Dark Liddy who's farming very well is to, well, get a hard carrier or 2 yourself and happen to farm very well on them. And that can also work in your favor. So there's some tower exchanging going on in the meantime between the 2 teams, but the Hellborn side will eventually port back, and I think, actually middle lane, they're going to jump Dark Liddy here. Moraxis by himself. No follow-up, though, unfortunately. I mean, Dark Liddy is going to get away, so that's a good news for BMG at least. Manages to escape there.
Yeah, BMG getting 2 towers out of this, though. So definitely in their favor.
Making up a little bit of ground right there. I want to go back to this barbed armor pickup, by the way, on Pharaoh. He's had it for a while now, but I meant to bring it up earlier when he did. Do you think barbed armor was the better choice on him, or would you have rather seen something else?
I think it's fine, though. I don't think Bushwhack is going to man up on him either way. When he's in the mummies, she's just going to try to get out of there as fast as she can. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else he could have gotten now. Like, maybe a Hellflower would have been nice, but I don't think he would have ever finished in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the item is fine. Maybe a Souls next would be probably perfect against the Hellborn team.
Yep, any kind of armor mitigation or physical damage mitigation here is definitely something to think about for BMG. I mentioned they have the Sackstone, of course, from Torture, but they are missing the Souls buff. They are missing the Ring of the Teacher. No, they do have the Abyssal Skull, so there you go. Yeah, they would just need the Souls here to really help benefit and get the maximum auras against that physical damage. So we'll see if they pick that up here. But Dark Liddy, by the way, she went the Wing Bow herself. Ends up right-clicking it. So
very interesting, yeah. I like it as well. I mean, she could have went either the Savage Mace route to counter the Bushwhack or go for the Wing Bow himself. And he figured that he's playing against Bushwhack and Swiftblade, so it's better to counter both than only counter the one item on Bushwhack, I guess.
Now the wing bow, usually we see it. It's more, especially on the range carries. You know, again, that added 100 range is so big. But on a melee hero, it's not maybe something that we can see as visually as a spectator, but I would think it's a pretty big deal, especially, you know, against something like that Bushwhack, who's trying to right-click down the Dark Lady. He's going to be taking return damage now because of the wing bow, as well as the evasions on top of that. So, yeah, I think that's even, you know, just added value, of course, as to why it's a good pickup here.
Definitely. I don't think it's going to matter too much against the Bushwhack, though, since Bushwhack is more of hitting fast, hitting a lot, instead of hitting very hard. I think the reflection is not going to be the biggest deal, but he's definitely going to be able to feel it.
Dark Lady does have the lifesteal compared to Bushwhack as well. Obviously, with that Abyssal Skull, Bushwhack doesn't take advantage of it, being the ranged hero here, so keeping that in mind, too. We'll see if that becomes... I mean, doesn't have a attack modifier yet. Could you see that being her attack modifier of choice? Maybe getting a Whispering Helm and a symbol here on Bushwhack?
Yeah, I would definitely prefer it as a last tier item. But she's definitely quite a bit away, since he has to probably save for a buyback as well. Next fight is going to be very crucial.
Oh, yeah. In fact, Kongor, is he up? No, he's not up just yet. But once he is, that'll be the area of a possible battle, I'm sure, for these teams here. So, Swiftblade, he chose to go the Geometer's Bane. Good against Dark Lady, I guess, in terms of removing the silence here.
I would have actually liked to see a Basher on him.
Yeah.
I think that would have been better to deal with just all those heroes, because they're very hard to catch on the Legion side.
Ideally, that Bushwhack, though, the crippling darling, we're not going to chase them down. But at the same time, you don't want to put her in too dangerous of a spot in pursuing. Don't want to overextend, of course. Kongor is up, though. And you can tell the Hellborn team in that area now. Knowing that's the case, there goes the Tormented Soul to scout. Going to realize that it's not happening just yet, so. But definitely drawing the attention here. Middle lane? No.
Illusion against illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I really like about BMG is that they always manage to pick up the Bound Eye on the right items, on the right times. For example, now where they're about to engage a possible Kongor, they make sure that the Hellborn team has no vision to see from where they come. This is really important and really well done by Root of the.
Yep, Bound Eye on the Magnus, helping to take care of that. So you got the Hellborn team that do got a couple wards up, but a little more offensive, not necessarily around the Kongor pit. Neither team has wards around the Kongor pit, to be fair, but the Legion side does have that Tormented Soul from Pharaoh that we've seen several times now to scout out with it. And as long as he's on top of that, which it seems like he has been, then should never be a sneak, as you see right there. Right as they start it, there goes the Tormented Soul.
It's dropping fast, though. I don't know if Legion can react to this in time.
God, that is really fast. You're right. Kongor, that dot damage from the Jungle Toxin to Bushwhack and just in general auto attacks. I mean, that's going to be a kill before they go in. In fact, in the background over here, Moraxis jumps too, Dark Lady included, as well as Torture. This is a huge fight right now for Complexity. Will they be able to capitalize in the end? Torturer getting caught. Dark Lady, she's standing her ground. She says, "Screw it, I got to fight this." Not going to happen. The Swift Slash is too much. And Dark Lady does end up falling, the supporting cast. They just never really went in. And I don't know. I mean, Dark Lady does have a buyback, I guess, so that's kind of the saving grace here. Huge jump, though, from Moraxis.
Yeah, definitely bad coordination by BMG. Balthazar went back in while the rest of his team kind of went out. So yeah, that made him kill the TDL as well. And now they can easily force a buyback on TDL.
Yeah, I mean, if Dark Lady didn't have a buyback there, I think that they definitely were going to 100% commit as a team, but you could tell the Pharaoh, he did not want to use the Wrath of the Pharaoh to maybe support. Magnus had the portal key, but never really felt comfortable going in, as well as Moria. So, yeah, they chose to basically say, you know what, he's dead. Maybe there's communication form, or Balthazar saying he was dead anyways. But anyways, here we go. Magnus jumps in with the Eruption. Mora in the background. Mana Center on Andromeda will prevent the swap initially. Spinning Switchblade, though, mitigating some damage, but not going to be enough. He will fall in the end as Dark Lady now charges in. Bushwhack, though. Okay, was attacking a little bit, but trying to fall back now. A little too much, so sticking around. Takes a stun from Magnus. Moraxis thinking about going back in to maybe save him. As look at the kite from Bushwhack right here, that crippling dart. Causing issues. He's sidestepping away. Moraxis jumps in. Here come the auto attacks. Dark Lady's going to fall. What a turn right there. The barbed armor is preventing the kill on a Pharaoh. He needs to be careful. Okay, he's going to kill himself, but he has the token of life, so that's probably why in the end. Dark Lady does have his final buyback, but it would be his final buyback here, which is not going to be because well, maybe he might have to end up using it if they keep pushing.
This is definitely going to be the mid-ranks. And yeah, he right-clicks the symbol.
Jeez.
I do like it a lot. I mean, there's nothing TDL can do now about him. He can just sit there, right-click the TDL, and activate the symbol.
Yeah, what a turn from Bushwhack. Again, it really shows a Bushwhack with great farm into the late game is not something to underestimate by any means. It was good coordination, too, by him and by Moraxis, definitely. In fact, Oscar's definitely had some pretty big jumps this game. Playing that Moraxis, so deserving credit.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how well they execute this Bushwhack strategy. And yeah, I didn't expect this at all, but I'm glad that they proved me wrong.
Well, you know, I really think that Bushwhack has proven to actually be a very good counter to a Dark Lady. I mean, it's hard to say a counter, I guess, but it's a very good carry option to go up against a Dark Lady. And I think the biggest reason for that is, one, because the mobility, of course, is great. It reminds you somewhat of a Mage Bane. You know, that classic matchup, the Mage Bane versus a Dark Lady. Sure, Silence can kind of screw that, but, you know, that's where Shrunken Head comes into play. But then also, the Crippling Dart. It's a physical slow, so he's able to use it even through a Shrunken Headed Dark Lady to help him escape. So, yeah, it really is proven to actually be a pretty good hero against what usually is one of the scariest carries in a Dark Lady in the late game. And I think that's kind of what was the logic there, at least part of it for complexity.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what I mentioned earlier as well. It depends on who got the higher GPM in the late game. And while the TDL is sitting on maxed items, while she did kind of buy cheap items, Bushwhack went for really expensive items, and he still has one slot to go if he decides to sell the Thunderclaw, as well as rebuying the BKB. So yeah, I think there's complexity being in a really good spot.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting you say that. Dark Lady, cheaper items. At the same time, the farming item was that Rune Cleaver, you know, compared to a Thunderclaw and Bushwhack, which, I mean, how much, what is it? It's 2,400 compared to full Rune Cleaver is 4,150. So you're looking at just under 2,000 gold more for a Rune Cleaver. You know, again, just under, but whatever. So it's about 1,500, 1,700, something like that. But the point is, it is a little more expensive, especially that early game. I mean, that's definitely a little bit more time. Could you possibly see the value in going for just a Thunderclaw and a Dark Lady instead of that Rune Cleaver in full?
I mean, I have personally tried the Thunderclaw on TDL, but it just doesn't do as much as the Cleaver. Because the E makes your Thunderclaw proc more the more targets you hit. But at the same time, it procs every time you hit something with a cleave. So without Rune Cleaver, I think TDL's forms is just slowed down way too much. Yeah. And I don't think the Thunderclaw is going to make up for that.
All right, yeah. Hey, I wonder if it is kind of just... Part of me does again, kind of wonder if it's that Dark Lady, the Rune Cleaver Dark Lady is just so iconic. That's like been a thing for so long now that's what you just do. I mean, it makes sense with the synergy, as you're pointing out, with the charging strikes especially, and the power of the ability with the Rune Cleaver item, but I'll take your word for it. But at the same time, I would be curious to see a Dark Lady go for a Thunderclaw right away in a game, in a tournament match, and see how that works out. But
yeah, I mean, it definitely has some synergy with the Thunderclaw, but compared to it like a Bushwhack, Bushwhack does so much more with this actual Thunderclaw than the TDL would do. So yeah, and Bushwhack exactly done what I said as well, selling the Thunderclaw and getting a Savage Mace here.
Yep. And so does Swiftblade, by the way. Also
wow.
purchased a Savage Mace. Yeah, he's kind of been quietly just farming really well. 435 gold per minute. Fuzzy Sloth is 8, 6, and 8, so he's been involved in a lot of kills here himself. And yeah, they have a lot of hard hitting now.
Look at the tower.
So many illusions. That's ridiculous. It's like majority illusion damage. Bushwhack was there to himself, but it's just the illusions doing so much work.
Oh.
Oh, wow, they are jumping aggressive. Kinda. Not really, though. The Cover of Darkness was used. They're just going to let it fall off, though, before they look to go back in here.
Eruption and Cover of Darkness used. This is the perfect time for Hellborn to just get the Rex.
Oh, the Eruption was used, really? Yeah, it was. Did his Poké get canceled or something?
No, he jumped in, but Bushwhack sidestepped away, so he couldn't stun in.
Gotcha. Yep, that's a mistake. I think BMG probably knows as well. This is kind of their last stand right here. Magma's going to stun in very aggressively. Here we go, but the Andromeda swap immediately pops the Shrunken Head, and now Bushwhack right-clicking. That Mummy Wall as well as the Barbed Armor gonna maybe stall a little bit, but guess what? Dark Lady's dead. She buys back for the final time right here. More access. He stays alive in the background. Down goes Pharaoh. Dark Lady charging back in, giving it one last shot. Down goes Miraxis. Down goes Parasite, but now Dark Lady, she's fallen. However, they do kill Swiftblade, actually, and all of a sudden, it is just Bushwhack. He's trying to hold his ground. Can he do it? No, the stun is too much, and Bushwhack will fall in the end, so it took a lot of buybacks. Really the second and final one in Baltazar. They even still lost the melee racks, though, so despite the genocide at the end, I still think Complexity pretty happy with the outcome there.
Yeah, definitely. There was 2 buybacks used by Legion, final buyback by Baltazar, and they get the Rex. I mean, that is just, yeah, all they wanted, really. So, is that a Doombringer?
It is. It has to be, right? I mean, he has no buybacks.
Yeah, it is.
He kind of has to. That better not be like, it's not going to be a mock, of course, at this point, so. Is it a full Doombringer? Oh, it is, yeah. No, I didn't even see it on the courier. Okay.
Didn't even think he had that much money.
Yeah. Well, apparently he did. Holy crap. Well, no, he sold. What did he sell? The Rune Cleaver. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he doesn't have that anymore. Okay. Well, they're all in. Here we go. This is fun. They're gonna notice that right off the bat, I'm sure, and be like, okay, here we go. Let's be a little careful now against the Stark Lady. Yeah, if you okay, she's gonna get swapped in immediately. Charging strikes out though. Still getting caught though. She got hit by that Comet Stun. She's trying to stay alive. Bushwhack is in the fight, but the supporting cast is here. Mummy Wall and a Bushwhack. Down goes Pharaoh. Dark Lady, not gonna risk it. Just simply gonna fall back. So they tried to make a bit of a push. I don't think they got even any buyback. Oh, Formless did buyback. Okay. So they did get 1 buyback out of it at least, but the game will continue on.
If they would have killed Bushwhack there, they could have just won the game.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they didn't manage to get it. And now pulling off a pretty risky play.
What are they doing here? Are they trying to backdoor, or they're trying to pick off somebody?
I think they're trying to get the more Rexes.
Oh my god.
But they don't have TP, so...
Oh, true. And she has a double damage, by the way. This is going to be a dead Miraxis quickly. Yeah, 900 max damage. Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts. And that definitely caught Miraxis off guard.
Yeah. See, I don't know if that was worth it, though. I really think they should have tried to find something else. Because it's like, okay, you kill Miraxis, who has a buyback, and you're not going to get anything else out of it. That was a big chance to make a big jump and a big kill. And Miraxis is kind of not really a big deal here. So, I really think they should have tried to find the Bushwhack, but they took what they got, I guess.
They should be pressuring top right now, because there's no TPs up on the Hellborn team. And if they scalp is the Rocket, they would have had a chance, and they would have known that they were a coL. So yeah, the only problem I have with the Doombringer is that he's still up against the Bushwhack with Wingbow. So instead of having, you know, the Savage Mace or something that allows you to deal the damage you would deal anyways, but, you know, make it 100% hit.
Yeah.
He's kind of going for the risky.
Screw it. First rule as a caster, there's never a wrong reason to pick up a Doombringer. Always good, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice Doombringer here. I like it a lot.
There you go. That's more like it. You're learning. No, you do make a great point that, God, in a realistic level, that you are right. A Savage Mace does seem like it actually does have a lot more value here than a Doombringer, believe it or not. So I do see what you're saying for sure, and it does sadden me a little bit to say that you're right there, but it is a Doombringer at least. So I mean, hey, can't be too disappointed. And it actually has the one charge in it now. Remember that, too. That any kill that he gets with it now, he actually is going to get plus 10 damage on that Doombringer. So, oh, there's definitely a fight breaking out here. Pharaoh pops the mummy, or excuse me, the barbed armor. The rat, the Pharaoh completely whizzed, but look at Mirax jumping in the background. Dark Lady, she's getting invested, though. She gets the kill. Now she turns to Bushwhack, but the miss is coming out. Dark Lady goes down, and the Doombringer's on the ground. Can Torture pick it up? Maybe somebody else. No, you cannot. Down goes Torture. Moira's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. No, you don't. You don't got this. And she's dead as well. So the Doombringer now on Swift Blade, and you might as well call GG if you're BMG here.
This game seems to be wrapping up.
Oh, it's over. There's no way you go back after that. So good effort, though. Good effort, though. Definitely went the all-in here. Just didn't pay off, but yeah, no, Complexity, get a couple things. Not only showing that Bushwhack carry, it's definitely has potential to out-carry a Dark Lady to an extent, but at the same time, also Moraxis, I think, definitely deserves some recognition here once again this game, too. He had some great jumps that were pretty big impact in some fights there throughout the game.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
What are your final thoughts on that first game there, Scurry?
I think Complexity should have, they should have executed early game better, but they came heavily out on top in the late game. So, yeah, I think BMG just missed to take fights as 5 people, and that's what ultimately turned the game kind of around. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but still, very interesting game and very fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as expected here in the bracket stages, definitely getting good competition with the top 4 teams right now in the Diamond Division going at it. These are the 3rd and 4th place teams from the group stages in a losers bracket matchup. Again, this is the losers bracket. Well, you lose here, you are done. You will be 4th place in Cycle 1 of On Tour Season 4. So right now, BMG on the verge of that, pending a comeback here in Game 2, at least forcing that 3rd and final game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in game number 2 between Complexity Gaming and Bad Monkey Gaming here in this best of 3. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Game number 2 coming up next here on Honcast.
She just shakes her wrist. She's